This is the hourly, as you see. This is the hourly, as you noticed, from the daily to the hourly, right? So you see the same thing. So now, what am I doing for the pound? I'm looking for a long. So far, so good. Anybody trades besides Sylvia spot forex? Denny, excellent. So now we're looking for a long from to this level. So we know the target, or for now, at least we know there's another target right below the top of this red zone. So my job now is to look for a possible long. So now I will do my analysis now, right? The analysis, first of all, I want to see from a Fibonacci from this zone, from this area, from this high to this low, where is my rejection zone on the Fibonacci? From here to here. My Fibonacci level 62% retracement is here. So the long that I'm looking for is valid because we might, there's a lot of lines, but please filter, look at the numbers. This is 62% retracement and it tells you the price 1.27250. So I'm looking for the market to go up to it because, you know, it's not only we have the need for the long through the volume profile, but now we have the need for the long also do the the technical analysis. And this long is a short-term view, short-term entry, possibly. So now I want to see what is my best level to get into this trade. So I'll drop my Fibonacci from here to the top that was just made now. So if we come back down, if the market comes back down to one of these levels here with the help of volume profile, then I'll have a possible long. Does this make sense? So what I'm looking for, if the high stays here as is, and remember, this high that happened just now, it is in the middle of this continuation zone. There's no rejection here. So the high that happened, if it brings it down to one of my Fibonacci levels, it could be here, could be here, then I'll look for a long. Right? So this is what I use for my trading. I would do anticipate, and then I confirm, then execute. So now to help me, best way to help me is that, let me remove these lines, right? I'm sorry, not these, not this, not this. Let me remove the line. So now I cleaned my Fibonacci levels, right? And this is my 62. This is the main level that I'll be looking this area for a long, but it could bounce from any of these levels, right? Now I have multiple lines here. So I will look for these areas, maybe this line, maybe a little bit below it as you see the edge of this volume profile for a long. Overall, I'm looking for a long on the pound US, which is exactly the same as the pound futures. And these lines here, once they touch, even if I'm not looking at the instrument that I'm trading on the pound, for example, I will still hear it because it will give me an audio once you have that audio plugin too associated with this line. It's part of the indicators that members have. I have the pound instrument or pound pair, pound US pair here with all the lines that I have on the bigger chart, because all the lines that I will put on any chart, it will be also printed on the other charts of pound. So you're not missing any. You don't have to repeat these lines, okay? Now looking at the pound, although we were looking for a long, but there was no entry. If we look at it now, this is the pound short term, as we mentioned, and this is the pound long term right here. The long term is the daily. We're still above the lower line and possibly going to cover this red zone higher. Looking at the hourly, See, it bounced, it came back down. We had a line earlier here, and this is the direction. So now we're down to a good level for a long. Now, when I say a good level for a long, it means I have, and this is my 987 tick chart, it means the long has a potential of this profit. I'll show you. This is the potential rectangle. So here, this is the potential all the way up here, and the stop loss has to be somewhere in the middle of the red zone here. So this is the stop loss. So basically your risk is the lower box. Okay, so it is a good idea when you do top-down analysis to look at the market or to look at a long from here. Of course, you don't have to have Sierra chart to execute a trade. You can use your MT4 if you have an MT4. This is for example, this is a demo MT4 that I have, and here's what you could simply just do this, and you have the same pricing on both, and you have the stop loss. You can basically do your stop loss here. Let's do and then leave it, and your stop loss has to be somewhere. Let me read. You just establish a stop loss afterwards at for 1.26840 area, and the way I would deal with it, knowing that my risk reward is reasonable, right? This is my risk, for example, from the entry, for example, we got in here, right? And this is my risk all the way to the lower line here. So this is my risk. So I'm doing three contracts, right? I'm doing 3 contracts or 3 lots. So automatically what I would do, I take my first target at the first hiccup that is facing me. And the first hiccup that is facing me is going to be, if I look at volume profile, is going to be on top of the area right here. So this is going to be my projected first target. Arrow. This area right here on the first 2. So if I take my first target on the first 2 and leave the contract, leave the runner on, my runner is free, even if it gets stopped out later, because I'm targeting all the way up here. So I don't want to move it right away. I have to wait for the next level, etc. The pound struggled in the area, but stop loss still here. And there's a power line that might help the thing stabilize. But let's see what's going to happen. The idea is to keep it, take the first target, if we get to the first target, and have a runner all the way up to this area, either this lower line or the upper line. Let me remove these boxes, but we understand what they are for now. So, and this is the move, right? As you see, target 1 should be out here, this level, and see how it's retracing back down after the first hiccup. This was the first major hiccup that we had. So target 1 was about 8 to 10 pips depending on your entry. On 2 contracts, you're already up anywhere between 16 to 20 pips. So your stop loss is about 5 to 6 to 7 pips on the runner. So even if you get stopped out, you're good. So now we are waiting for the whole trade to fulfill with comfort. We don't have to be stressed out. So it took time, but as you see, profit target was reached. Tried to break through it, but then it bounced down. We expected a bounce from this level. That's why the trade was a short-term trade, although it took about half a day or so. But you have to also understand that we were trying to cover something that we saw, we noticed already. We noticed the market was going up, and through our top-down analysis, we said we need to look at the pound US to cover this red zone, which was a continuation zone. Okay, this was the very beginning of the analysis, knowing that the market is going to continue. From here, we might have a short, but then that's a different trade call, different approach. Okay, overall, we got about, if you took the trade as intended, first target, let's say 10 pips on the first two, that is 20 pips, and then a 50 to 60 pips runner. We're looking at 80 pips combined. Thank you.